we're back in Shadowrun Dragonfall with the continuing adventures of Stealth the Elven Rigger. Last episode, we helped Gennari get his shipments back and establish friendly, I suppose you could say them friendly relationships with another Keys with the help of Dietrich. It worked out fairly decently and we really didn't need to do anything too crazy. Stealth, luckily, was able to work something out fairly nicely. Now, there's one thing I want to check. We're going to go talk to our dwarf friend. Well, she is a dwarf friend. But our dwarf friend, whose name I can't pronounce, about that drone that we got earlier. I do believe we got it around the time we got Blitz. Got that drone fixed yet? I do. Just finished before you arrived. There's a complication though. What is it? The drone's got a custom AIOS stack on it. Someone wrote code that sits on the bootloader and configures the drone to only accept commands from a specific user. The thing works like a computer virus, so there's no way I can rip it out unless I got another brain from this model of drone. Okay. Before you ask, yes, I looked into that. Problem is, this is a stolen corp drone, a discontinued model of a stolen corp drone. Lovely. There are no parts of this thing on the market around here, so unless you know who locked this thing up so tightly, you're not going to get more use out of it than a doorstop. Drek. Well, I'll ask around for its owner, thanks. Okay, so we worked that out. We do have our two drone models. Actually, we did get this around Blitz, so let's go talk to Blitz and see what's up with him. I apologize, Techie talks a little... Oh no. We're going to have to talk about bad things. I completely forgot. We got bad news. Alright, everybody's gathered around. Let's find out what's up. As you step forward, the rest of your team falls silent. Amzel shifts his attention to you. You can see the worry on his face. Stealth, I have new information. I'm afraid that the news isn't good. So you said over the comm, go on, we're listening. Skip the preamble and tell us what you've learned. Yeah, I can tell. You gathered the whole team. He nods. Yes, this is something that you all need to hear. Well, go on, we're listening. 2 years ago, a large shipment of highly lethal radioactive bioweapon disappeared en route to a storage facility in Dresden. The weapon was designated X-15. I have traced the path of the missing shipment. It was delivered to the Harfeld Manor. So there's a dragon with a bioweapon. Well, that sounds horrible. Yes, it does, Blitz. It is. I've heard of this stuff before. Back in the service, we called it Doom. Oh, that's never good. I've never run across it in the wild, but I've heard enough horror stories to know that I don't want to. The stories that you've heard are correct. This Doom is an extremely dangerous substance. He gestures to a technical document on his computer's display. I've been reading up. To this day, the story of Doom remains a cautionary tale in biotech circles. Monoclinical antibody technology is strictly regulated now, and this substance is one of the reasons why. What does the stuff do exactly? Amzel clears his throat and reads aloud from the information on his screen. Doom kills by destroying a host's muscle tissue via radioactive decay. Dude. Each individual Doom antibody is bound to a radioactive bismuth-212 isotope. When introduced into a host, these antibodies bind to a surface-level muscle tissue. Or to surface-level muscle tissue. The tissue is then killed with alpha radiation. This process repeats itself until the host wastes away and dies. Because it's going to continue. I mean, it's not like a human would live long enough for any type of half-life to take effect. But still, that's nuts. Jesus. That's right. Eiger nods grimly. I've heard that Doom was deployed in a couple of border skirmishes back in 41. After seeing what it did to people up close, the UCAS passed a unilateral ban on the stuff. If that doesn't tell you how bad it is, nothing will. Okay, so I hesitate to ask, but what would a dragon want with this Drek? Nothing good. That much goes without saying. This development worries me, Stealth. It worries me greatly. So the dragon has a bioweapon. Alright, good to know, but that doesn't change what we need to do. If the dragon is stockpiling bioweapons, we've got an even bigger problem than we thought on our hands. I'm looking at the big picture here, and I don't like what I see. Big picture. There's a moment of silence, then Dietrich speaks up. Well, in my book, this doesn't change anything. I mean, it ups the stakes if the Firewing's allowed to carry out her plans, whatever those might be, but we're gonna stop her before that happens. That was always the plan. Far as I'm concerned, it's still the plan now. I agree with Dietrich. We need to focus on what's in front of us. Whatever the dragon's larger plans might be, the fact is that she is after us. We shouldn't let ourselves get distracted by anything else. True, Amzel is slow to respond. Finally he nods. Yes, I concur. For the time being, we must continue forward. And that means that you must continue working toward raising Alice's fee. I leave the matter in your capable hands, Stealth. When you've acquired the necessary funds and are ready to head back out to the rabbit hole, let me know. From there, we will discuss our next steps. Eiger nods. Good. If you need me, I'll be getting prepped for the next run. Right behind you, love. Dietrich casts a backward glance at Glory. If any of this has had any impact on her, she doesn't show it. Come on, Glory, let's go. Now, you never got back to me about Frau Mueller. How did the meeting go? I accepted the job. Any ideas on how to tackle this? Yes, a few. Frau Mueller has provided us with detailed information on the facility. I vetted the information, and it seems to hold up. Based on this intel, I have formulated that I believe will be an effective strategy to bring down the building. Okay. According to Mueller's intel, the facility is extraordinarily well guarded. Whatever this bloodline project is, the Aussies have spared no expense to defend it. The facility is patrolled by Azure Technologies' internal security personnel. On their own, they would pose a challenge, but I don't doubt that you could brute force your way through them. Unfortunately, they will not be on their own, as the technology has purchased one of Knight Errant's more expensive security contracts as an additional line of defense. That's not good. No, it's not. Knight Errant is too dangerous to take on directly, but if we were to compromise their comlinks, we could at least partially mitigate this danger. I pulled some strings with an old contact of mine, and he's provided me with the address of a small software developer, OTK International. They write the firmware updates for Knight Errant's comm systems, so we're going to reset their comms? Nice. And their defenses should be considerably weaker than Azure Technologies. My contact has informed me that OTK stores an off-site hard copy of every firmware update it develops for data security purposes. Understood? My suggestion is this. You hit the offices of OTK International and reduce their computers to slag. In the interim, I will have the hard copy of their next update replaced with a compromised version. When OTK's next update goes live, our compromised version will be pushed out to Knight Errant. When you hit the Azure Technology facility, I'll be able to track Knight Errant via their comlinks. This should make the run much more manageable. Okay. He fishes in his pocket for something. A moment later, he produces a corporate ID with your face on it. This will get you through the front door of the office park that contains OTK International. My contact was only able to provide me with the one card, so you'll need to let the rest of your team in through the side door. Alright, sounds like a plan. Very good. OTK's offices aren't far from here. You should take the U-Bahn there when you're ready. Okay. I do feel like we need to talk to a couple key members of the team, though. We can talk to Dietrich about the drone. Dietrich would be nice to talk to. There's a couple people that we should talk to. But first, let's upgrade our people, shall we? So we've got the weapons specialist Eiger. Sniper, flashbang, sniper. We can take sharpshooter. Eiger gains a very, very nice weapon. Okay. Armor piercing too, that's really useful. 4 wired reflexes, adds 1 movement, so it's passive. That's pretty nice. When triggered, user will dodge the first attack against them each round. So that lasts, wow, that lasts for 3 rounds. That's actually pretty useful. So I've never really taken Huntress, and I'm very interested in possibly taking it. Eiger gains the ability to target 2 people in one shot, which is really useful. Speed Loader gains the ability to reload all of our equipped weapons. It sounds like if we'd started with Shotgun Specialist, I feel like Wired Reflexes and Speed Loader would be perfect, but I feel like we're going to stick kind of towards the sniper route, mostly because our drones will be filling in a lot for Eiger. So I'm hoping that Eiger never puts herself in a position where she's focus fired on. I'd rather lose a drone than get Eiger run over. So what we're going to do is we'll take Sharpshooter for now for her, and she'll get this custom rifle. Now we've got to worry about Dietrich. Let's see. The AoE radius of Dietrich's Electrocore spell is increased by 1 tile. Not bad. Is now 1 AP to cast. Well, I know where that one's going. What do we got over here for Miss Glory? Enhanced Adrenals. So her Adrenal Pump lasts 1 additional round, for a total of 4 rounds, which is lovely. And Glory can use her Adrenal Pump on a downed ally to revive them at 25% HP. Shares a cooldown with a regular Adrenal Pump. I think we're going to focus here, just because we could go crazy and buy enough revives. And like I said before, we're trying to lose drones, not people. We're not that aggressive. So that's where we're going to work on that. Well, Glory's going to be super aggressive. Now what about Mr. Blitz? We can get him a better cyber deck, which would be useful because we're not exactly the best deck ourselves, or we can give him a hydraulic jack, increasing his move speed by 4 as a 0 AP point action. That's pretty nice. I mean, that would get him out of trouble, but I don't know. Pain suppression doesn't sound great. Nova Hot targeting sounds lovely. So let's get him a better cyber deck. Let's just hook him up. Okay, there we go. Team's all hooked up. Now, let's go talk to Blitz about whatever's going on. Let's find out what's going on with Blitz. Okay. Blitz's eyes widen when he sees the drone that you're carrying. He looks anxious. Hey, Chief. How's it going? I found this drone in that hotel vault. Does it belong to you? Yeah, Chief, that's mine. I didn't want to say anything at the time, since it was my idea to have you loot the vault in the first place. Really, so you had us loot the vault so we could get you your stuff back. Okay. What was it doing in there? Would have saved me some running around if you'd come clean. What was it doing in there? We're not even gonna go that route with Blitz. It's my personal drone. Good to have something to hide behind when you're on a solo decking run, you know? Luster took it from me when she seized control of the Schweizhausen. Yeah, no, that was bad. I've been hoping to get it back ever since. Okay. I've got to say, Chief, it hurt me to see her all banged up to hell like she was. Looked like Luster had a few of her goons take turns on my baby with a baseball bat. Aww. But it looks like you've got her up and running again. How'd you manage that? Lie, I'm pretty good with a wrench. Nah, the dwarf from down the street took care of it. She says that it won't listen to anyone but you, though. Score. So, can I have her back? Nah, I think I'll hold on to her. Sure, it's no use to me anyway. Okay. So let's have another conversation, Mr. Blitz. One look at Blitz's face is enough to tell you that something is gnawing at him. He stands beside his table, playing with a coffee spoon. Okay? Oi, Stealth. What you need? What's going on, Blitz? Well, Chief, I hate to admit it, but I might be in a little bit of trouble over here. What sort of trouble? Well, you remember those creditors I told you about? The ones who loaned me all that money? Yeah, well, as it turns out, some of them are a little less forgiving than I thought they were. Keep talking. Well, one in particular seems to have taken things kind of personally. How personally are we talking here? I got a package in the mail. It had somebody's thumbs in it. Thumbs? Yeah, thumbs. They came in a cigar box, packed in salt. I have no idea who they belong to. I'm pretty sure that they're meant to convey some sort of message. Really? You think so? He nods gravely. Yeah, I'm almost certain of it. Yeah, Blitz. I don't want to lose my thumbs, Chief. I like my thumbs. I think that I need to pay this guy back. Luckily, I've got a plan. I know how to get myself out of hot water with Meat Grinder. You borrowed money from a man named Meat Grinder? God, Blitz. I've got it all specced out. Let me get this straight. You took a loan from somebody named Meat Grinder. Hey, Chief, come on. I feel bad enough about this already. There's no need to rub it in. Anyway, like I was saying, I can make it all right, but I need your help to do it. I'm listening. Well, there's this group out in Drogenkype. They call themselves the Lardenberg Ring. They're a financial crime organization, and there's a lot of bad blood between them and Meat Grinder's operations. Anyway, back when I was running with this Schwarz, I laid out the groundwork for a hit on the Landberg Ring. I was never able to make good on it, though for some reason, none of the other gangers ever volunteered to help out. With your help, I could steal enough money from them to cover my debt and get myself back into Meat Grinder's good graces in the process. So what do you think? A quick run, just you and me, with me in the Matrix, and you as my man on the ground. We hit him, satisfy my debt, and laugh about it on our way back home. Sound like a plan? I might be interested depending on my cut of the profits. Alright, Blitz. But in the future, you need to be more upfront with me about things like this. No way, Blitz. But we can talk about our... You know what, that steal's still about the money. Chief, there won't be any profits, at least not for us. The money that we suck out of the place has to go to Grinder, all of it. Well, then you can find yourself another partner? Oh, come on, Chief. As if I've never stuck my neck out for you. Hell, that's all I've been doing since I got here. And this is the thanks I get? Alright, calm down. If this will get Meat Grinder off your back, I'll help you out with it. No dice and not charity. Okay, we'll just do it. Stealth's getting a little bit nicer. Alright, thanks, Chief. And yeah, you're right, I do. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got some last minute stuff to take care of before we get started. No sweat, Blitz. Meet you at the U-Bahn. Oh, no, not as such, Chief. I won't be physically going to Drogenkype. I've seen enough of that place for one lifetime. I'll be jacking in from a terminal that I set up here in the Keys. Great. Okay, well, guess that I'll send you a comm when I get there. Okay, I guess that's how we're gonna have to do it. Sounds good, Chief. Thanks again. Okay, so that's Blitz. He's that guy. Let's have a talking to some of the other characters, and then I guess we'll head over to Drogenkype. Do we talk to Eiger? Let's talk to Eiger and see what's up with her. Eiger offers you a shallow nod. Stealth? Any thoughts about the last run? Nothing we haven't already talked about. Do you trust me, Eiger? She pauses for a moment, considering. Finally, she nods. Yeah, I do. You've earned that much. I haven't always agreed with your decision, Stealth, but you've proven your competence. It's only fair for me to acknowledge that. Okay, then tell me what happened to your team. This again? Why do you even care, Stealth? Because it's clear that if you had your way, you'd still be with them, and a good leader places a priority on knowing his team. Doesn't matter, I'm your leader. I'm asking you a question. Let's go with that. She nods slowly. Alright. I'll tell you. I suppose that you deserve to know. What happened to us was Hoffman. He was a rookie. The kid of some big money corporate exec. He looked good on paper, and he made it through KSK training, so he was technically qualified to join a team, but he was way too green to fit in with ours. Still, he wanted to be a hero, and his family had enough clout to get him an assignment of his choosing. I don't know how many strings Hoffman's daddy had to pull to get him assigned to our team, but he pulled them. Hoffman became our 9th squad mate, despite Metzger's objections. I believe that was her leader. Anyway, flash forward a few weeks. We were closing in on one of the Russian mob's major trafficking operations. They've been using a series of warehouses 50 miles from the border as a staging area for their convoys. Women and girls from Eastern Europe were being housed there. When the convoys came, they'd be crammed into cargo containers and hauled across the border into Germany. Go to any brothel along the border and have a look around. Chances are you'll find at least a few girls who spent some time in those warehouses. Slovakians, Hungarians, Poles, you name it. The mob has been smuggling them over for decades. But we were in a position to derail their operation, and we weren't going to let our new addition slow us down. We hit them by surprise, and we hit them hard. Fisher and Braun managed to take down the Banshee that they had patrolling the site. Wolf had reconnaissance drones overhead, providing battle tack feeds to the rest of us, and we picked off their gunmen one by one. They had numbers on us, but they didn't know where to hit us. We had eyes in the sky, and we had cover and concealment. Every time they thought they had a fix on us, we'd shift positions and hit them again. They might as well have been fighting ghosts. Then Hoffman broke cover and gave away our position. And after that, all hell broke loose. Wolf went down first. The sound of it will haunt me for the rest of my days. An explosion, a choked scream, and then this long, drawn-out gurgling sound. When he died, his drones went down with him, and there were too many hostiles to track without them. I spare you the gory details, Stealth. Suffice it to say that my team was wiped out. Eiger's face clouds again, and you can see the tears beginning to well in her eyes. I watched Metzger die. With a visible effort, she clamps down our emotions and calms herself. When she speaks again, her voice is flat. I took 3 rounds myself, had to drag myself back across the Oder-Nice line into Germany. I almost died. So that's the story. My KSK career died with the rest of the team. Our mission was illegal, after all, off the books. There was no going back for me, so I wound up here. She looks you in the eye. Her tone is impassive. Did that tell you anything you wanted to know, fearless leader? Are you satisfied? Yes. So tell me, what's your takeaway from my tale of woe? I figured that you've got one. When Monica died, you blamed me because I was new to the team, but I'm not Hoffman, Eiger. You're hung up on the past. It doesn't matter what I think, what you think, and how you act on it. It's what's important. Let's go for that. Yeah, she nods. I know that. And you're right, to a point. I might have judged you too harshly because of Hoffman, but everything else that I said was justified. Giving you command of this team was a hasty decision, made for the wrong reasons. I stand by that assessment. But between then and now, I've been watching you like a hawk, and you've grown, Stealth. You weren't the right choice to lead before. I still believe that, but you are now. Thanks, Eiger. Good talk. She nods until next time. I do believe we have one more talk with Eiger, perhaps? Eiger glances up from her PDA at the sound of your approach. Still, this isn't the best of times. Her body language is self-assured, but you can hear the anxiety in her voice. Something has her worried, in a big way. Talk to me, Eiger. If it's something's put you on edge, I want to know what it is. There is a long pause. Finally, she turns her PDA so that you can look at the screen. The image that greets you is a hollow pic of a rail-thin orc with jet black hair. Who am I looking at? His name is Yuli Kozlov, but he's better known by his handle, the Engineer. He's a mercenary, ex-Spetsnaz, one of the best in his field. I ran up against him in my KSK days. Tell me more. His specialties are social engineering and wet work. Whoa, social engineering. In practice, he spends most of his time paving the way for organized crime syndicates to seize new territory. Okay. He sets up bribes, takes out key members of the opposition, and forges alliances with existing street gangs. All the groundwork that syndicate needs. He's extremely bad news stealth, and my contact spotted him near here. That's a little too close to the keys for comfort. Exactly. I've seen what the engineer can do up close. My KSK unit tracked him a few years ago. I had him in the sights of my rifle, but I was ordered to hold fire. We couldn't afford to give away our position. To this day, I regret obeying that order. I saw what happened to the town that he was softening up after the syndicate moved in. Stealth, I have to stop him before it's too late. What happened to that town? It can't be allowed to happen again. Okay. Agreed. Do you know who he's working for now? The safest bet would be a Russian syndicate, but there's no telling. His client list is longer than you'd expect. Got an example? Well, I know for a fact that he's worked for mafia groups operating inside and outside of Russia, and he put in a lot of time with a Russian syndicate. He's taken contacts with the triads as well. Wow. My contacts tell me that he's even done a few jobs with Tamanis. That's a hell of a resume. Yeah, it is. She bites her lip and stares at the image on the PDA for a long moment. So long story short, I'm going to have to step out for a mission or two. I know how important it is that we resolve the first wing situation. I get it. But I can't just sit back and let this happen. She shakes her head. I won't. As leader of this team, I say what our priorities are, and I say that dealing with this mercenary pales in comparison with stopping the Fire Wing. Good hunting. If the Keys is at risk, this is too important a job to rest on the shoulders of one person. I'm going with you. End of story. Alright, Fearless Leader, you're right. I could use the help, but the others, they can't know about this. This is going to have to be a quiet job, 2 people max. You sure you're prepared for this? If you can't hold up your end, I'll be better off alone. Don't worry about me, I'm solid. Yeah, I know you are. Grab your things and meet me at Der Weinkeller. I've got a contact who's going to join us there, and he can help us figure out our next step. Okay. So everything's coming together. We have a mission from Glory that we need to work on, and also a mission for Blitz that we need to work on as well. I don't believe Dietrich will have anything, but maybe next time we'll work with Glory. I meant Eiger before. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. I'm JB Illusion. Please be excellent to each other. Have a nice day, and please return for the next episode in the adventures of Stealth, the Elven Rigger, in Shadowrun Dragonfall. Peace.